Hello, and welcome to Advanced Music School. My name's Matt. This is Lesson 9 and the final lesson in our first online series, helping you to understand and achieve Grade 1 on the piano. In this series, we have looked at hand and body position, where things are on the piano, reading treble clef, reading bass clef, reading rhythms, time signatures, sharps and flats, key signatures, scales, dynamics, articulation, sight reading, and aural skills. In this video, we will be looking at phrasing, tempos, pedalling, performance practice, technical exercises, and the exam process. Firstly, let's look at phrasing. Phrasing was briefly mentioned in Lesson 6 regarding dynamics and articulation. However, phrasing can come in many forms. Usually, phrasing is written in the same way as a slur, with a large bracket over the top of the stave, but this is not always the case. Therefore, we need to think about phrasing like phrasing a sentence in speech. Usually, in a piece that has a time signature of 4/4, we would see phrases that are 2, 4, or 8 bars long. Here are some examples of pieces of music with phrase marks and some without that have clear phrasing. Now we will look at tempos. At the beginning of most pieces of music, there is some form of tempo marking or guidance. The tempo in simple form is the speed of the piece. The most specific form of tempo is a BPM, or beats per minute. This is a metronome mark that gives you the exact speed. If the piece has a BPM of crotchets equals 60, then there is 60 crotchets in a minute, or 1 every second. As well as this, we may see other tempo markings. Lento means slow, andante means walking pace, allegro means fast, and presto means very fast. These tempo markings are much less specific and allow for a little freedom. Here are some pieces at different tempos. Next is pedalling. Each pedal on a piano has a different function. In this video, we'll be looking at the most used of these, and that is the right pedal, or the sustain pedal. This pedal holds the notes even if you let your hands go. Therefore, it sustains them. It is very difficult to generalise when you should use the pedal. However, in some pieces, you may see the word ped written underneath with a line telling you how to use the pedal. If this isn't the case, it is generally used when the harmony or chord changes. Now we will discuss performance practice. Performance practice is essentially the practices regarding performing pieces from different eras or from different composers. This is a very broad topic, so I'll try and outline some of the features of each era. Firstly, we have pieces from the Baroque era. This period is from the 1600s to the mid-1700s. In this period, the pieces were written for harpsichord rather than a piano, and the harpsichord had no ability to change dynamics, so there usually isn't dynamics written into the pieces of this era unless later edited in. Therefore, we must shape and phrase these pieces carefully, following the phrases and structure. As well as this, the pedal is used very rarely. In pieces of the classical era, which is 1750s to roughly the 1830s, we start to see more dynamics and slurs written in. In this period, the end of a slur became staccato as to emphasise the slur. After this, we have the Romantic period, which is from the 1830s to 1900. In this period, lots of dynamics are written in, and the music becomes much more specific. This is a very basic rundown of some of the aspects of performance practice. There is much more involved in performance practice, and it is always heavily debated, but this should help outline your approach to specific pieces. There are lots of technical exercises available to improve your hand position and finger dexterity. At this level, I would look at using Hanon's The Virtuoso Pianist, and carefully go through each exercise slowly, making sure your hands are arched and each note is smooth and even. In the final part of this series, we will discuss the exam process. In Grade 1 ABRSM, you will be required to play 3 pieces from the Grade 1 book from 3 sections, A, B, and C. Once you have played this, you will have a sight reading test, followed by some oral tests. If you would like any more information on the exam process, there are more details on the ABRSM website. We hope this series has been helpful and an aid to your piano playing. These lessons are not a replacement for a teacher. Always refer to a skilled private teacher for personalised lessons. Visit Advanced Music School to learn more about our personal piano lessons. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next series.